This is the Flex Network. Flex on everybody.
Oh, yes. Yes, everybody. This is the Flex Network back again for yet another slam dunk by one at Alan says Lowsky, ALANSES Lowsky. He is the Roster Watch contributor, a DFS Army co-contributor.
But most importantly, go ahead.
No, honestly, that's where I was going to start.
No, but most importantly, you forgot one credit. One of my credits. One of my credits is but a Flex Network co-podcaster.
Yes. You're right. I was actually going that route. I was getting there. Wait a second. Here we are, more lighting on my end. Yes, everybody. This is the Flex Network brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. People.
I played, by the other way. I played.
Oh, you should play, and so should everybody. Everybody should come prop up on Thrive Fantasy this season. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy football or fantasy sports app. Sorry, we use it exclusively for fantasy football, but we do dabble.
Well, I played basketball on the other day. It was
How'd
awesome.
it go? How'd it go?
Awesome. I mean, it was awesome. It was like so much fun. Like the sweat is real, because you can pick the props you want. I mean, you'll explain it, but I loved it. I'm gonna be playing every week. So
yes, daily fantasy sports for player props. They have eliminated the need to do countless hours of research because they only ask you about the top tier athletes in their respective sports. So let me give you a little bit about how the fantasy football portion of that works. There are a total of 20 props, and you pick 10 of them. You pick 10 props. There's an over-under. Some of them are evens, where you're 100 points each. Usually, you're a 200-point prop. Let's say over's 110, under's 90. If it's an even prop, they go ahead and they give you the odds. And we're going to talk about 5 of our favorite props this week. And it might not be a favorite prop, just ones that I think we can cash in on. So please, I am calling to action with the promo code FLEX. If you deposit $20, 20 measly dollars. Listen, whenever I go out to eat, my bill is at least $20, and I definitely don't need that food. I definitely just ordered a couple mozzarella sticks, $24.38 over here. Don't know where you're living, okay? But we're living the high life. These mozzarella sticks over here, $24.38. Do nothing for me. Nothing for me. In one end, out the other, nothing. But you could put that same $20 at Thrive Fantasy, and you know what? For your troubles, you will get another $20 free. Free. $20. Here's another $20, and you can win big. You can win big. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or the Play Store by visiting their website, thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and prop today with the promo code FLEX. Of course. Yes, it is at the iOS store. Yes. Sully is here. Oh, we got 29, 30 live, 32 live viewers. What is up, everybody? Go to Thrive Fantasy, promo code FLEX. Season Long says we are going to get into a couple of our favorite props this week. Let me give you a little bit of, let me just tickle you a little bit here. Says Cam Newton. It's an even prop. Even prop this week. This is our first of 5 props. Cam Newton, over or under 255.5 passing and rushing yards total for the game Sunday night against Seattle. It's an even prop, so it's 100 points either way. But are you selecting the over, or do you think maybe he goes under 255.5 total rushing and passing yards. We got the instant over here, but what do you think, says Lowsky?
Yeah, I mean, without the 12th man in Seattle, you got to think it's over, right? I mean, you know Seattle better than any of us, and that 12th man is powerful. And if New England can clearly call out their signals and communicate properly, I mean, Cam Newton to me looked fresh. I'll take the over. I mean, that doesn't seem like it's much of a stretch there. Do you agree?
I don't agree, says Lowsky, at all. Week 1 against Miami had 155 yards passing, 75 yards rushing. That would be the under, says Lowsky, on 255.5 total rushing and passing yards combined. Now, did you get a chance to see Jamal Adams wrecking havoc on the defense?
Yeah, no, he looked good. He Jamal Adams looks. I mean, listen, I'm a Jet fan, so I know that I was sad to see him go. So yeah, no, Jamal Adams, he probably is going to spy Cam. That makes a lot of sense. And you know what? I think you're under pick because I think none of us want to root for the under. The under is bad to root for. So I think that there's a little bit of extra juice on the over because most people will take the over on most props.
Says Lowsky, I love to root the under against the Patriots at all costs, especially when Cam Newton shows up looking like your grandmother's banana. Okay? A banana that your grandmother is using to make banana bread, says Lowsky. That's what Cam Newton looked like last week. Okay? No, I will hammer. I hate to say the word hammer because I don't want to hammer the under because I don't want to look like the jackknob that said, listen, just douche, hammer the under. He goes for 257, just 1.5 yard over his player prop. But we love it. See, at Thrive Fantasy, how you win is by taking a little bit of risks. Risks, says Lowsky. Now, this is a risk because it's an even bet. So really, it's a 50-50 coin toss. But the reason why we are going to select this prop for one of our 10 props this week is because it's only a 10% ownership at the moment. Not a lot of people want to bet under or over on Cam Newton this week, but we have balls. Okay. And they're on the table right now. Don't know if you can see them, but there they are. Our balls on the table, gigantic ones. We got Cam Newton on the under 255.5 pass yards and rush yards total. Says Lowsky, are you ready for prop number 2?
Number 2.
This is a slam dunk. This is a slam dunk. Not like the $24 mozzarella sticks that you have to pay for to get a guy fed over here. Chris Carson, 1/2 total rush touchdown and pass touchdown. Are you kidding me? We're going to then just slam home the over. A 1/2 rush touchdown and pass touchdown. A reception touchdown. Just a 1/2? Are you kidding me, says Lowsky? Does Carson get 1 touchdown during Sunday night's football game? Yes or no?
So he had 2 touchdowns in the first game?
He dominated, says Lowsky.
Right.
I actually had to fly home on the highways just to make it. I sell for a living. I sell things.
What do you sell, by the way? What do you sell?
Dreams, says Lowsky. I sell dreams. Okay. We don't talk about that in the CIA where I work, says Lowsky. Jeez. Okay. I work for the government. Hopefully they're not listening. 1/2 touchdown player prop this week on Chris Carson.
I mean, really what the question is saying is, will Chris Carson score? So if they get inside the 5-yard line, I mean, he appears to be the goal line back. And he proved last week that he could score from, with the passing game. Now, that might have been very reminiscent of 2019 Mark Ingram, where he was getting these passing reception touchdowns that he normally doesn't get. So, I think Chris Carson on any given day is a better bet to score than he's not to score. So I would say he probably will score a rushing touchdown.
Yes. Now, oddly enough, how Thrive Fantasy does work is by taking the over or the under. There is a point total associated. Last week in the Sunday NFL night rush game, whatever, I forget what the actual game was called, you basically had to hit on 6 props. Not only did you have to hit on 6 props, but then you had
how many of 10?
Well, 10 total props that you get to select. You basically have to hit over half each time to cash, no matter what. But 6, even though that was the cash line for props, you have to pick the right props. So this week, the over on half a rush touchdown and reception touchdown for Chris Carson is 110 points for the over, 90 total points for the under. You'd have to have some real big cojones to hit the under on this and take the lower points. We're going to go ahead and take the over on Chris Carson getting a touchdown this week in New England, Sunday Night Football, 110 points, says Lowsky. Are you ready for the next one?
How many props are we going to go through here?
We can only go through 5. We can't give the viewers everything. Are you kidding me? We would have to charge. And people don't generally have enough money for that, says Lowsky. Okay, geez, we're selling dreams out here. And yes, Aaron Jones, says Lowsky. What do you think the prop is on Aaron Jones this week?
For rushing yards?
For a rushing touchdown.
Oh, for rushing touchdown? I mean, everything's a half of a touchdown, but it's a question of what's the juice on that half touchdown.
Yes, against Detroit.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably more of a
half. Yep. Over is 120 points. This is an easy bet here, says Lowsky.
What's the under? How many points is the under?
It's a 200-point thing.
Well, that's my point.
Over 120, under 80. You only get 80 points if you hit the under.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if the over is a favorite, I think any given week, given Aaron Jones' touchdown prowess, I think that you always bet the over there, especially if it's a underdog.
Got one last week against Minnesota, but this is Detroit. Okay? I don't know what kind of shandies are playing on the defense over there in Detroit, but to say that Aaron Jones ain't scoring one of them, you would just no. Says, tell him I'm too frustrated.
You're frustrated with what?
I'm frustrated with the idea that Aaron Jones will not get in the end zone this week. Are you kidding me?
Do you own him in any of your leagues or no?
I absolutely hate Aaron Jones.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm not a Aaron Jones hater. Why do you hate him?
I just dislike him, basically.
Fair enough. Good reason. Good rationale there.
Thank you. Yes, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. I am a huge Aaron Rodgers fan just because I also emphasize with hating my family.
Just all right, joking. Fair enough.
That was a joke. I was
going to say, do you want to lay down? We could do a psychotherapy session if you'd like.
You know what? This is actually what that is. Okay. This is really just a psychotherapy session for all the viewers out there to get inside the mind of Flex Matt. Aaron Jones, we're hammering the over this week for 120 points. We're going to juice up. We're juicing up. Here's another one. This is just as sloppy. Okay. Our QB1 on the year here, Mitch Trubisky. Okay. Our QB1 on the year. Okay. Allen Robinson says he's disgruntled. All the talk seems to be that Tyreek Cohen is going to get an extension before he is. What do you think, says Lowsky? Do you think that Allen Robinson can score over half a reception touchdown this week?
I mean, if you look back to the first week, it didn't look like he was overly heavily involved in the game plan, and I'm surprised. I thought that Mitch Trubisky for sure would force feed him, and I think a lot of the squeaky wheel gets the oil theory narrative is certainly in effect here. I would like Allen Robinson to score a touchdown. I own him in a lot of leagues. I'm very high on Allen Robinson. I think this is the week.
Now, again, just a sloppy prop here, where if you take the over on a half touchdown reception this week, you just smash home 120 points again. Taking Aaron Jones, Allen Robinson, and Chris Carson for the over on a single touchdown this week nets you 350 points. And that's 3 props that you will easily cash in. But this is a tough one, says Lowsky. This one is tough. Completions, total completions. Kirk Cousins,
I mean,
19.5.
under for sure. I mean, they didn't even run a lot of plays last game. I think Dalvin Cook led the team with like 11 or 12 carries. Other than garbage time, he threw the ball like 22 times, I think, in the first week. It just
25 attempts, 19 completions.
I have no faith in that offense to execute. I would bet the under. But you know what? The market is probably on the under too, so the over is probably the sharper bet. But I just have no faith. Like Minnesota is one of the sneaky worst teams in the league this year so far.
Minnesota going up against Indianapolis. His player prop is 19.5 completions. Last week, completed 19 completions, scarily hitting close to that number. The under actually gets us the most points, 115 on the under, and you got to have some balls to take the under, says Lowsky. Are we doing it?
Nobody likes to root for the under, but I think it's, that's where I would want to go. I have no faith in that offense.
Yes, neither do I. And spoken as true words from one season long says, I'm going to let you take the credit for the fall on this one. Says Lowsky says, go to Thrive Fantasy right now and hammer the under on Kirk Cousins player prop of 19.5 completions. He had 19 last week. That's scary, says Lowsky. All these people are going to hate you. They're going to hate you so much. Go to Thrive Fantasy, promo code FLEX. Again, $20. That's all you got to put. 20 measly bucks. 20. That's some mozzarella sticks over here. Okay, does you no good. You go to Thrive Fantasy, you put $20 on that sumbee, and you get 20 more bucks, and you could win lots and lots of cash. Says Lowsky. Where are you going right now to put your $20 with the promo code FLEX?
Thrive Fantasy, man.
Yes, it's an easy one. Jeez, says Lowsky. Okay, we got a couple minutes left. I don't want to go too crazy. I'm going to take my lady out tonight. We're going to have a nice dinner, of course.
What are you going to have to eat? What are you going to have?
It's another secret of my life, says Lowsky, but it is a place here. It is. Oh, I think she can hear me. She's probably not listening to this, so I will take the over that she is listening to this and she's not, or whatever that is. I'll take the under that she's actually listening. It's called Melting Pot. It's a fondue place, says Lowsky. They put it in front of you. They give you the juice, the cheese. You can dip it. It's a nice thing. Okay, it's a nice dinner we're going to. No mozzarella sticks, so you know it's going to cost a lot of money, and you know I got it, says Lowsky, because I won big on Thrive Fantasy last week. Says Lowsky, in our final 5 to 10 minutes here, I want 3 flex plays on the week, guys, that you will put your whole entire horse on and say, giddy up and win me the week in fantasy football. Number 1, says Lowsky.
Yeah, I think that this is the year of the double tight end. I think that going tight end in your flex is a sneaky good play, and a couple of the big tight ends went down this week. I have full confidence in Logan Thomas to catch 6 or 8 passes every week. Don't you?
I love to hear the song, but it's not playing because, yes, says Lowsky, Logan Thomas this week, a waiver wire champion. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it just feels a lot like Darren Waller did from last year. He's on a bad team with a serviceable quarterback, an older tight end who's knowledgeable about the game. And in week 1, he caught like 6 or 8 passes. I can just see like another 8 for 80 game, even if he doesn't score. That's 16 PPR points. I really, I don't think I bid enough on Logan Thomas because, I played during the draft, I played in the tight end 9 through 15 pool, so I got 2 of them. And if you have 2 tight ends already, you're not going to spend on a tight end on the waiver wire. But I really like Logan Thomas this week as a sort of like a what the heck flex play.
Yes, and you are correct, says Lowsky. If you hit Your tight ends in redraft this year from your 9 to 15, you definitely nabbed 2. Our guy Blake Jarwin went down.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunate non-contact.
You know what it is? I think you would have been right. You were big on Blake Jarwin. You were leading the charge for him this year, and it's a shame because I think you would have been right on that.
Blake Jarwin, rest in peace this year.
Pour one out.
I don't pour anything out, says Lowsky, ever. Okay, number 2, says Lowsky, hit me with it.
All right. I mean, it's if you're going to, let's go to a different position here. So let's go to the wide receiver position. Week 1 saw players like Russell Gage and Robbie Anderson, light it up. But this week, waiver wire. I'm sorry, not even waiver wire worthy, but it just feels like I saw enough from Jalen Reagor. I saw him do that outfielder catch, outfielders running backwards.
Over the shoulder, tracked it perfectly.
Right. Something looks right about Jalen Reagor. I'm in on him. I mean, if you have him, you probably didn't start him. But this is the week where I think people already start. There's a small drumbeat starting that Carson Wentz isn't good. And they drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round. I think this is the week where Carson Wentz to Jalen Reagor is a thing. That would be my second. That'd be my wide receiver flex play.
Right?
Are you with it? Are you with it?
I am with it. Of course I'm with it. I'm also hearing everything that they are calling for Carson Wentz's insta-benching.
Yeah.
And of course they can't get to it yet, but you can see a couple teams out there already that are hurting for their rookie QBs coming in here. Tua? Oh, where's Tua? Tua's coming in. He's coming soon.
So our friend, the geek over at DFS Army, asked me, he's like, when do you, this is offline, wasn't on the podcast. He said, when do you think Tua is going to actually play? And I said, he goes a couple weeks, by the end. I said, no, by the 3rd quarter this week, it's happening.
That's what I'm thinking as well. Yeah. That by the 3rd quarter and he starts week 3, runs them to 2 Super Bowls in the next 5 years. No, he's not Russell Wilson. He's not.
I think that he's going to be better than Joe Burrow. So, and we already like what we saw from Joe Burrow. So
we love Joe Burrow. We love him. Right. I punted on QB this year, took Joe Burrow in the last round, and Joe Burrow definitely got me the win this week.
Yep.
Of course. Hit me again, Hit
all right.
I'm
Let your running back flex for this week. Some people played him last week. Most people picked him up. If you didn't, James Robinson is the real deal. All right. So our friend Byron Lambert over at Roster Watches, who first brought him to my attention sphere all the way back a few months ago. This is a player I think that the NFL missed on, and I think the NFL knows. He probably should have been one of those running backs that got drafted with Joshua Kelly, with Anthony McFarland in the 4th round, and he just kind of slipped. I've been doing a deep dive into James Robinson, being that I'm in Jacksonville here, and he at Illinois State last year, Flex Matt, he had more rushing yards than the whole team had passing yards. So the whole team had about 1,500 passing yards at Illinois State. He had 1,700 rushing yards. It's just unbelievable. He's about 5'6". He's a 208 pounds. He's built like a bowling ball, like a Maurice Jones-Drew type. This is a play. He looked good in week 1, even though he only had about 65 yards and, the pass catching wasn't there. He's the reason they let Leonard Fournette walk. He's the future, or at least going to get the opportunity. And we know that running back opportunity is everything. I absolutely endorse a full-on start James Robinson in your flex. And if you're choosing between, someone like Sammy Watkins, that's a tougher decision. But if you're looking for a running back flex, James Robinson, that's my guy.
Says Lowsky, excuse me, my lady popped up in my studio here half naked. Okay. I didn't hear almost the thing that you said about
which half?
The top half, of course. Sorry, excuse me. Listen, says Lowsky, did another running back last week get a carry outside of Robinson on the Jacksonville Jaguars? Tell me.
I mean, nothing significant. I mean, he
Nothing.
Yeah.
James Robinson got 100% of the work in Jacksonville last week. Listen, Minshew, he's got a mustache, this guy. Okay, he played college in Washington State where I am, and of course, he also ate a lot of the mozzarella sticks, this guy, and he is great. He is fantastic. That team's got some juice, okay? Got some juice. Everybody counted him out. Says Lowsky, look, which half? It's just people are hyped.
I thought you were going to say the left half.
No, nice. Says Lowsky, I'm going to give you one guy as we end this podcast here today. Thank you all for tuning in to a short. Listen, says Lowsky, 7 targets last week, 7 of them, 6 receptions. So we only missed 1. Tell me who it is. Tell me. You don't know yet. It's a wide receiver. Let's play a guessing game. Okay, you got that.
Is his name? Is he named after a famous city in Europe?
Is he named after a complete action that Flex Matt will be partaking in tonight? That's your next clue.
What's his name? His name is Masturbation?
No, it is not. But you're on the right track. Adam Humphries. Adam Humphries. Okay? Who's out this week, says Lowsky? You tell me.
AJ.
AJ Brown is out this week. Last week, 7 targets, 6 receptions for 47 yards. Yes, not a stellar stat line, but
your guy Baron is asking for a shout out. The Baron von Ironcock. He's asking for a big time shout out right here.
For his son Cam. Hey Cam, your dad is one of the coolest guys that I have ever met in my life, and you are and should be very excited to be the son of Baron. Baron, he is from Canada. We don't judge him for that, okay? But Cam, you're a cool kid. Thank you for tuning in to the Flex Network. And sir, you can email me anytime and I will tell you exactly who to play. Okay. And this week, go pick up Adam Humphries, everybody. He is at Alan Says Lowsky, ALANSES Low Sky. I am Flex Matt. We are the Flex Network. Head over to Thrive Fantasy. Put 20 of your measly dollars that I know you just picked up off the ground and you turn it into $40 over at Thrive Fantasy with the promo code FLEX. Yes, we got some new digs, says Lowsky. Did you see the new logo? What do you think about it?
Fire. Absolute fire.
Fire from the DJ Pleasurehead himself. We love you guys. See you tomorrow. And yes, we will win. Always.